extend their stay in Washington, D.C. Towson, the home team of the white jerseys. Hofstra is in the blacks, and we are underway. Pride begin with the basketball.
Yeah, Hofstra electing to wear the pink uniforms. The black, I was waiting for the blue and gold, but not so fast.
Gooden, so dangerous off the bounce, finally healthy for this Hofstra team after she endured so many injuries throughout her career. Sterling can't get the roll inside, sticking with it and putting it back, Magoliko.
And what a great sign. First, the assertiveness to get to the rim, and then the extra opportunity.
Rebounding, one of the things that the Hofstra coaching staff thought was an area they could exploit against this Towson team. It'll be worth keeping an eye on all game long. Marchbanks lobs it inside, immediately surrounded on the catch was Derringer, and it leads to a turnover.
And you can see right away what the Pride's trying to do. They're going to help down low to maximize that advantage.
Carter was calling for it, and you see why. 5 in a row to start it for Hofstra.
Well, we've seen Hofstra run through this tournament in many years. There's just something about the CAA tournament for Hofstra. They have the ability to string a couple games together.
Remember, as a 12 seed, they got all the way to the quarterfinals, pulling off not one but 2 upsets. As awkward footwork leads to another takeaway. This time, Kareem the steal.
Well, it's the on-the-ball defense. You see how much pressure they're putting on the ball handler.
Sterling driving, can't finish with the left hand, but got contact. And Chloe Sterling heads to the stripe.
Well, you can see what Sterling's trying to do. We talked about how she didn't have her best games against Towson, but she is being aggressive. She's getting to the rim, turning the corner, and really challenging the bigs to have to block her shot.
Well, we talked about this. It's always a question of when the Towson staff will go to their big guns, Enya Johnston and Kayla Morris. It's fast tonight. Sometimes it's 2 minutes, sometimes it's 4. And tonight, not even 90 seconds. Johnston into the contest, Morris in as well, as the Tigers have built a 6-point deficit.
Well, when the stakes are high, you can't wait until the next game. This is the next game. This is the most important game. Every team trying to continue their season.
What did Towson head coach Laura Harper tell us this week? It just kind of depends on my feel and my anxiety, and that's when Johnston comes into the game.
A lot of coaches have those feels and those anxieties.
Especially this time of year, the best on the calendar. Here's Johnson, her first touch. 2 bodies come her direction. Morris trying to show the range, and a one and done for Towson.
And good job boxing out as a team. Already this early, Hofstra is doing things as a unit.
Good in the step through. Can't finish in tight. Morris has it knocked out of her hands. It'll go out of bounds back to the Pride, who are led by Danielle Santos Atkinson, her 7th season in charge. She has been through so many bad breaks over the course of her career, has struggled to stay healthy in any of her seasons in charge. Loves the effort, though, today. Another takeaway as the steal from Magoliko leads to a missed layup from Kareem.
The good things we're seeing from Hofstra is the ball pressure, the aggressiveness getting to the rim, but they have to finish.
Try to beat him down the floor, but missing in tight. Turner, but second time's the charm, and Towson on the board.
Anytime you see someone leaking out and you can get that ball up in transition, you'll see Towson wanting to push that ball.
2.5 minutes in, 4-point Hofstra lead. And a deep 2 in and out there from Gooden, and the rebound to Towson.
I think Towson just needs to settle in with this offensive set. They want to get a good shot, capitalize from that leak out earlier.
Mason Marchbanks, whose addition in early January, such a big deal for this Towson team. When they got her into the starting lineup, they felt like they went to a whole nother level. 8 to shoot. Shepard sees it and loses it. Another Hofstra takeaway and a foul in transition as Shepard giving the contact to stop the break, and that will not be something that Laura Harper likes, the head coach of the Towson Tigers, who's in her 4th season. What an impact she has had on women's basketball, Christine, especially in the DMV, an absolute legend during her playing days at Maryland.
And so many people were so happy when she took the Towson job, staying home, her ability to recruit in the area, just a great thing for the university.
Spent 2 years at Coppin State, took that program from 3 wins to the precipice of the NCAA tournament. Deep two is short from Gooden. And Towson doing a better job on the glass here the last few trips.
They're getting a lot of opportunities, and then it's going to come down to you got to start knocking those shots down, getting to the rim, but finishing. But so far, the defense has been absolutely smothering.
Turner, the entry feed to the high post. Morris, another jumper, and short with it again. Can somebody stop ball here for Towson? Is Sterling on the spin. Another miss inside, diving on top of it, and then getting tied up. And that was Ayan Onwi. Just into the contest, immediately making her presence felt and being dragged around a little bit by that very pesky Towson team. They are quick on loose balls.
And you see Coach Laura Harper already, trying to play chess here, getting different players in, trying to find that right combination. But also, this is a pretty fast-paced game early on.
3 minutes, 50 seconds here, and it's Hofstra holding a 4-point lead. They've scored the first 6 points. They've gone quiet, though, ever since. Morris, another jumper that's off the mark. And Hofstra off to the races again.
Morris had a clear lane to the basket. Even if she takes one step, one dribble, she could have been to the rim.
Maybe settling just a little bit in the early going. We'll see if there's an adjustment on that. Great ball pressure. Turner gets the steal and then is fouled. Samaya Turner.
Yeah, Sterling, maybe a little bit of frustration, kind of pushed her off of her, I think, trying to get the ball back, but ends up kind of tossing her. As you see here, she gets her hand on the ball and then taps the ball, but then pushes her.
Turner plays with such a passion inside. Derege back into the contest. Transfer from Eli, got it blocked inside. Henri, the rejection.
Well, she did a great job of just staying up tall, not trying to block the shot, just staying up.
Sterling again short with a jump shot. We've seen a lot of misses short here in the early moments.
Yeah, I think that's the theme so far for Hofstra. They're getting great looks, getting to the rim, just not finishing.
Johnson trying to create, cannot hit the straight-on jumper, and Hofstra continues to hold Towson to one and done. The pull-up in transition, and it's Brown able to convert.
A little bit of a miscommunication there. Johnson and Shepard both leaving the ball and then seeing what the defense gives you, taking the shot.
Shoot this off the bounce, finding Shepard, who will head to the stripe when we return. Strong start for the 10-seeded Hofstra Pride, creating in transition. Neve Brown has Hofstra up by 6.
Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the Coastal Athletic Association, offers the best of everyday banking. CU1 members gain access to competitive products like high-yield checking, dedicated financial wellness resources to help you build a strong foundation for the future, and nationwide access through 24/7 digital and mobile banking and an expansive surcharge-free network of 130,000 ATMs from coast to coast. Discover better banking for all at cu1.com.
At UNCW's Cameron School of Business, we're all about action and experience. From applied learning opportunities to our study abroad programs, you'll get unique experiences that set you apart. Our distinguished Cameron Executive Network will mentor and prepare you for ultimate career success. Classes are taught by scholars and leading industry experts, ensuring you get the knowledge that truly matters. Visit us at csb.uncw.edu.
Join us for Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving on March 25th, where 100% of sales will be donated to support Special Olympics athletes.
It's a great way to support the athletes. Like me, it's basically like doing this. Or this.
And all you have to do is get a sub, like this guy. Join us March 25th for Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving.
Okay.
Be a sub above.
After 5 years of military service, Staff Sergeant Zaragoza is still setting goals.
Come on, Vincent.
But mostly for her son.
You got this. Woo!
She was ready for more family time. She was ready for the reserve.
The Credit Union One CAA Women's Basketball Championship is brought to you by Credit Union One, the official banking partner of the CAA. Visit cu1.com to discover better banking for all. And by Jersey Mike's, proud supporter of CAA Women's Athletics, a sub above. How about this producing from our Flow Sports crew, the Natural History Museum, showing you some lions and tigers in a matchup between the Pride and those Towson University Tigers.
Yeah, and then you just need some bears, oh my, and we could complete multiple references. You know, for Towson, they've done a good job in their offensive sets, but only shooting 1 for 7, but it's those 4 turnovers that has really been the difference early.
So many of them live ball turnovers, too. Not all turnovers are created equal, but when you give the ball away and let the other team get out of transition, that's where it can really cost you.
Well, the on-the-ball defense by the Pride has been phenomenal. And again, working as a unit by committee, and they're rotating well, and then when the ball's going up, boxing out pretty good, but only a 4-point lead, leaving some things out there on the offensive end.
If it's Towson, feels like it could be so much worse. Up and under move, everything but the finish line. Essen, and it's out of bounds off of her, back to the Tigers.
Emma Von Essen is someone to pay attention to as well. We've seen her go off in some of the CAA tournaments, have some real shooting games here, something about the tournament play. And again, you know, as you get older and each year goes by, you really cherish this tournament.
Both teams really struggling with their shot. Towson's missed 4 straight field goal attempts. Meanwhile, Hofstra has miscued on 7 of their last 8 tries from the field. Johnston, cross-court feed, had a wide-open body in the corner. Shootfist electing not to shoot it. Still 10 on the timer. She gets it back. Wants to create off the bounce over a double. Derringer there to clean it up.
Great job just being there, no weak side rebounding, but Hofstra's doing a great job with Magoliko on the top of that defense. It's really causing some problems, but if you don't secure the rebound, you give that extra opportunity.
Was that a pass from Shootfist?
I don't think so.
It came off so perfectly to Derringer. It's off the screen. Von Essen short with it again, and back to Towson it goes.
You know, if you're Hofstra and you're looking at all the opportunities, all the shots that you're getting, and then you look up at the scoreboard and you're only up 2 points after causing the turnovers, getting to the rim, and just not being able to convert on the offensive end.
You know who would have thought that was a pass? Point guard Christine Coramato.
Hey, anything to get that assist.
Broadcaster Christine has gotten stingy at her old age. Open 3, short from Marchbank. Sweet side rebound will stay with Towson.
Every time India Johnson touches the ball, she's getting doubled. Do you think the Pride are paying attention to her? Because she's probably like, yo, what's going on here? I can't get a good look at all.
Laura Harper said we were ready for that, though, anticipating it might come from several opponents this week. Johnston gets a little wiggle room, finds Shootfist in and out with the 3, and a good job to save the rebound. Inbounds to Magoliko.
Magaliko's been very active on the defensive end.
And then again, creating off the bounce. This time it was Shania Garden, and the inside look wouldn't go for Carter. There's a lid on it right now for Hofstra.
Man, these are all good looks.
Johnston again, 2 bodies come her direction. Shootfist so nifty off the bounce. Again, too strong off the window. Goes and gets it herself. And then came wide open, maybe a little too unselfish. Derringer on the other side of the lane, though, makes it right.
Yeah, great ball movement and patience there by Towson. And for Hofstra, you have to feel it's like they're rotating, they're running, they're working so hard, and then still to give up that basket. But again, it's the extra opportunities.
I thought Shootfist passed up a layup.
I thought so, too.
But it ended up working out pretty nicely. Got an even better and easier look for Derringer. You got to reward those bigs. Channel the timer. Hofstra just now really getting into anything. Off the bounce, the pull-up won't go for Brown. Another offensive board, Magoliko. The step back, Von Essen connects on the deep 2.
And there's one of those level of difficulty shots by Von Essen. If they can get her going a little bit and play that inside-out game.
So Hofstra back in front. They led 6-0 to begin. Reverse layup. Turner able to retie the game.
And now you're seeing the Towson Tigers starting to settle in. They're moving without the basketball, finding their teammates, making some good cuts and passes.
Von Essen feeling it, and why not?
It's like we predicted in that. I mean, we've seen her do this year after year in the CAA tournament. Once she sees one go down, they come in bunches.
She did not have the senior season she was hoping for, just 26% from three. What a move. Marchbanks changing direction multiple times.
Well, I think both of these teams took offense to us saying, that they weren't finishing, because now we're starting to see some offense.
Hofstra's got a line change waiting at the scores table. 4 players waiting to check in. Brown given some space by Turner, can't make her pay. Garrett spinning through the double, one step too many. The walk waves it all.
I think she felt like she held the pivot and stuttered with the other foot, but it did look like a travel initially. Let's take a look at the replay and see if she held that pivot foot here. She plants there. Yeah, I mean, she did lift up the pivot, but was it part of the 1-2 step? Anytime you make a stutter, a lot of times it'll look like a travel, but it's really hard to call in real time.
The officials have done a fantastic job all day long. Those close calls, especially in traffic, so tough to make. Johnston with 1 minute left in this first quarter.
She lost her shoe.
Moving so fast. Can't even hold it, puts it back on in the flow. Meanwhile, Shepard attacking, can't bank it home, and out of bounds back to Hofstra.
India Johnson's probably like, every time I touch it, I'm getting doubled. Now I'm losing my shoe. Like, I need to get settled here. Now she needs to tie that thing just a little bit tighter. Not sure if they're reviewing, or was that a timeout?
Gonna challenge who that went out of bounds off of with 49 seconds left in the opening quarter.
Well, we just talked about the one call that was really hard in real time, but now with the opportunity to be able to definitively know the right call, we'll take a look at the replay as well and see what we think as our eyes are aging that. Let's see what it looks like to us.
It looked like Derringer got a piece. Did it ricochet off the shoulder of Garrett on the way out?
Well, you see Shepard making sure that they review that, because she thought they were going to continue. I'm not sure. Well, you see right there, I can't see if the rotation of the ball changes or not.
You want to get your glasses, see if that'll help?
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to be without the lighting,
Here's a good shot. Look at our crew giving you every possible
This is the
angle.
one we need for us elders. All right, so there's off of Towson. It's hard. It's still hard to tell if she scraped it. And it does look like it changed the rotation a little bit.
Yeah, that last bump, and that was what immediately Shepard reacted to. The junior out of Boston, Massachusetts, who transferred from Merrimack. First season with the Tigers. She was a 2-year starter at Merrimack. Garrett moving the fingertips out of the way there.
All right, well, one for the officials. They got it right, and they confirmed their call.
So that cost Towson a timeout. And that won't make Laura Harper happy, trusting her player. You can see what she saw. We watched it 10 times and still could hardly tell. Gooden creating into the lane. Beautifully done.
You knew one had to drop. Hofstra's been getting so close the entire time, getting into the rim. They're trying to challenge in the paint, and good patience there of taking what the defense gives you.
Hofstra got out to the 6-0 lead. They've never trailed, up by 3, 18 seconds left for this quarter. Shot clock and game clock virtually identical. Marchbanks doesn't care, hoisting the 3, and Gooden the long rebound.
Now you got to push it.
7 seconds to go. Gooden looks up, checking the clock. Finding Sterling. Sterling, does she know how much time is left? Yes, she does at the buzzer. No panic from Chloe Sterling, the JMU transfer. In her second season with the Pride, back healthy, and such a big deal for this Hofstra team. They're up.
Johnston coming off the bench for Towson. All those bench points. Well, it's Hofstra. 7 points from the bench. Towson with 0.
5-point lead consequently for the Pride. Towson needs that scoring depth. It's such a big part of what they do. Von Essen, big presence off the bench for Hofstra in that opening quarter. They post up one of the starters, Magolico. The fadeaway can't hit, and the long rebound goes to Johnston.
Great communication by Magolico, though. She was demanding the basketball, telling Von Essen first to go off that screen and then establishing in the paint and demanding the basketball. I like the communication I'm seeing from her early in this game.
Matu Laviches unable to hit inside, missing the banker. Long rebound to Hofstra, and here come the Pride the other way.
Yeah, I thought Kareem might have got away with a little bit of a push there that knocked her off balance.
Wide open, missing the bunny though was Magolico. She sticks with it. It bounces to Gooden, who is fouled as Hofstra quicker to the loose balls here in this opening half.
Well, it's kind of funny because Von Essen on the last possession, Magolico was demanding her come over off this screen. So that time they play the two-man game again. Perfect pass, just not the finish. But hey, all is well because Gooden said, let me clean this up and I'll draw a foul while I'm at it.
Where did Alarise Gooden come from to grab that rebound? She wasn't even in the picture there as you watched the replay. The senior out of Ontario, Canada, just good to see her healthy. She has dealt with so many injuries over the course of her career, stayed relatively injury-free this year, and not surprisingly has had her best season.
And she's meant so much to this team, and we would see in flashes what she was capable of, and she's just very, very important, especially in a game like today.
Danielle Santos-Atkinson said, I could not be more proud of a kid. Just stuck with it through so much adversity, always kept a smile on her face, positive attitude, and finally getting rewarded. The pull-up off the bounce, beautifully converted from Talia Shepard.
Yeah, that's just a great job of reading the defense and then taking that power dribble at the end to lift her up with the shot.
Gooden off the dribble, missing the foul line jumper, and Morris, that big frame inside, clear the board, starts to break the other way, and Turner drawing the contact.
And that was interesting because I wasn't sure if she was able to, when she caught that ball, having to handle the ball and take the step and go up with the shot. It was interesting because at first thought, it looked like Van Essen was there. Let's watch the replay. Yeah, she didn't give her the step and was totally moving, but that's a lot to have to handle the ball in stride, read the defense, and go up with the shot in transition.
Mason Marchbanks returns, the Alabama native for Towson. See Samaya Turner, only 57% free throw shooter. Looked pretty good on that first one. Who was it that said numbers never lie? They never played in March.
Especially when it's coming from a broadcaster. You're either jinxing it one way or the other, for good or for evil.
4-point Hofstra lead. They have the basketball almost 2 minutes into this second quarter. I'm Matt Janice with Christine Mata, our entire Flow Sports crew. We're the CareFirst Arena, Washington, D.C. The Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship second round. Winner of this one takes on Campbell in tomorrow's quarterfinal. Von Essen trying to carry Hofstra to that stage. Hits another off the bounce.
Hofstra's doing a great job in the half-court set of using on-ball screens, the two-man game, the pick and roll, reading the defense. The pick and roll has been around forever, and it doesn't matter if you know it's coming, it's how you execute.
Awkward footwork inside as Morris can't execute near the rim, and the giveaway gives it back to the Pride.
I've been very impressed with Hofstra's defense early in this game. And here you see Von Essen look at her turn the corner, and again, reading the defense, the big steps away, Morris steps away, and with the little floater.
Old school footwork right there. I know you love this. I was like Jimmy Chitwood in Hoosiers.
There you go. We can't go a game without a Hoosiers reference.
Gooden got it rejected. Morris, such a presence protecting the rim. It'll stay with Hofstra 10 to shoot.
One thing I like about Gooden early in this game is her patience on the offensive end. She's really taking her time, not forcing the ball, reading what the defense is doing.
Morris 6'2", but the wingspan of a bigger player to push off called here against Gooden. Will give the basketball back to the Tigers.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Gooden, that was right in front of the official. Marchbank's doing a great job of denying her the basketball, and while she was trying to get free, Gooden just extends those arms. Anytime you do that, especially in front of the official, that's going to be called.
So that'll bring Carter back in as Gooden sits down. Shepard stripped all the way up. Guess who? On Essen, having herself a first half here this evening.
I think one of the differences on the offensive end, we've talked about Hofstra using the pick and roll, using the screen. Towson's also setting some on-ball screens, but the guards aren't using it. They're kind of just running by instead of actually running their players shoulder to shoulder.
Johnston got a one-on-one, takes advantage as she hits the three.
That was right in front of us. What a beautiful angle of a pure shooter. When you just get a great shooter, it is so much fun to watch them go up and watch the ball just roll off their fingers.
Laura Harper says she's unguardable. There's more defense. Another block from Morris.
She has been dominant so far in the paint. She's being very disruptive and making Hofstra alter shots when they try to get to the rim. What a play. My goodness, being so smart. Chloe Sterling throwing the ball off the back. She said, okay, you're not going to watch me? I'm going to do the old school play and get one for myself.
And real quick off the inbound, so the bucket bringing the lead back to 5 for Hofstra. Looking to create, it's Marchanks drawing the double team, leaving it off inside, but unable to finish near the rim was Turner, and back to Hofstra it goes.
Well, Marchbanks kept going. She threw the ball and then kept running because she had nowhere else to go, so then Turner almost had to avoid and shoot over Marchbanks as well. Not only the defense, but she had to shoot over her own player.
That was Sterling with that smart play off the inbound. Almost didn't get her feet established in bounds. That was close.
I always think that happens a lot where, it's let go a little bit, but it is hard to tell if they actually establish the second foot.
Von Essen got the defender in the air again to the mid-range. She is feeling it in this first half.
She's floating to the left. She's floating to the right. She's floating with the leg kick straight on. She's floating all over the place here.
Floating her way to 9 points in the first 14 minutes of this contest. It has Hofstra up by 7. Switching on everything outside. Into the teeth of the defense. What a finger roll there from Turner.
And that was a great play by both players. I thought Turner being able to go around and then Magaliko standing strong.
An illegal screen there to the backcourt against Hofstra, and a turnover gives it back to the Tigers.
Yeah, that was a great shot, just the way she went around the defense. Magaliko holding her stance, and it was just a great offensive play.
Michaela Hodge in for the first time for Hofstra.
India Johnston was demanding the basketball, and she never got it, kind of looking a little bit frustrated, putting her palms up like I was actually open that time, and I could have got a good look at it.
Two bodies come her way, 3 to shoot, gonna whack the hoist from deep, and short with it as a result. Marchbanks scramble for the loose ball, and it ends up with Johnston. Now 3 bodies surrounding her. They reverse it the other direction. And the recovery defensively from Sterling, able to knock that one out of bounds out of the hands of Kayla Morris.
Yeah, Hofstra almost over-rotating, almost hustling too much. They had, twice where 3 players were running after the basketball because you're trying to, get yourselves organized, and not everybody's in the right spot, but you can't have 3 players flying at the basketball. And great leadership by India Johnston, pulling her team together and pointing out a few things.
What movement without the basketball, sets up a layup for Turner.
That's 2 in a row for Turner, getting to the rim and getting up some athletic shots.
4 3/4 left of the first half. The ball pressure here from Towson forces a feed from the scorching hot Von Essen. Still 13 of the timer, ready to pull the trigger and connect. Neve Brown.
Hey, good possession there for Hofstra, trying to get into the paint, nothing going, so kicking it out.
Johnston, the crossover, getting the contact, and earned that trip to the free throw line. India Johnston trying to get her team going, but Neve Brown continuing to make plays for the Pride. The mid-range jumper has Hofstra up 5, 4:20 to go until halftime. Back in Washington, D.C., where Daniel Santos Atkinson's team has a 5-point lead over Towson. Second round of the Credit Union 1 CAA Women's Basketball Championship. Christine, what a roller coaster ride it has been for the Hofstra program this year. They went more than a month without a win. They lost 8 straight games from January the 4th until February the 8th. That's awful tough to pull out of, but they did somehow, finding a way to win 5 of their last 8.
Well, mix in a few injuries as well during that time, but what a positive outlook Coach Santos Atkinson has with her team. She just continues to motivate, continues to find ways to lift the team up and have them compete. And as we're seeing here tonight, they are competing.
India Johnston able to pull Towson within 4. Well, at the midpoint of the CAA season, the Hofstra coach said we had a lot of really difficult conversations as a program. There were truths told, people held accountable, and the head coach admitted she was interested to see how her older players would respond. But to their credit, they handled it fantastically. Everyone started to work together, and they put each other in the best place to be successful. As missing the runner in the lane that time was Garrett. Starts the leak out. 3-on-1. Marchbanks the pull-up, and Towson back within 1.
Yeah, great job of pushing the ball up the floor, and Marchbanks had the first shot, but then took one dribble in to make a better shot.
Give Carter a little space along the perimeter. No such luxury afforded to Garrett. Still 13 on the shot clock. Von Essen has 9 in the early going. Looking to create, stops on a dime, and hits another. They're not even sniffing the rim.
And it's the patience. Again, see how she kind of double clutched there, and as soon as the defense backed up, she said, okay, then I'm going to take the shot. I have enough room.
Von Essen only averaging 5.5 per game on the season, has 11 in this first half to put Hofstra up by 3. Marchbanks into a double team. Shepard, as they went under the screen, can't make him pay, and over the back goes Kayla Morris.
That was just a great box out by Sandra Mogalico. She is so active under the rim. She's given up a little bit of size, but her athleticism and her long arms, if she has position, she's going to come down with that ball.
And a Derige will come in to try to use some size at Mogalico, who's been all over the place in the early going. Back to the adversity for Hofstra for a second. One of the things that Sancho Atkinson told us was when they talked about accountability, they were determined to hold each other accountable, but without pointing fingers, which is always the toughest balance to find.
Yeah, I think one of the best compliments you can have as a player is that your ability to give feedback to your teammates or communicate without them feeling like you're attacking them.
Von Essen, the heat check, short with it, and Towson the rebound.
A little smirk from Von Essen. She wanted that one.
Johnston, a rare occasion where only one defender in front, gives to Marchbanks, who hits the 3 to tie the game.
Well, someone better close out on Marchbanks because she's just hit 2 in a row. One, she took a little bit of a step inside. Now she's knocking them down from behind the arc, and you can feel the momentum in the arena.
And the Towson crowd, which has brought the Jews, trying to get their team spurred, but it'll be a foul on the way to the bucket as Sterling creating the contest.
And again, the pushing of the basketball for Towson, and looking at her spotting up, just 1-2 step. You know, they were out here very early, getting shots up, getting threes up, and looks like she's done that before.
Foul into Marchbanks, only her first. 13 foul against Towson. Hofstra is over the limit, and a push-off. Von Essen called for the offensive foul. Actually, no, they're going to call the illegal screen against Mogalico.
Tell you what, Marchbanks, she's just pulling her team along on the offensive end, and now on the defensive end. Watch, she's trailing the shooter, so she trails, she's in position, closes out, tries to catch up, and yep, a little bit of that sticking out the leg.
Double team Johnston, trapped as she got over the midcourt line. Did a good job to keep her dribble alive. They whip it inside. Derige using the window and the foul.
What great body control. Her ability to catch that and then continue the shot. I mean, she was coming in hot there, but had enough of a touch on the rim. But then her own teammate almost took her out. Watch how she catches and right up quickly. And then look, oh yeah, you didn't get fouled hard enough here. Take a little bump there. A lot of excitement here for the Tigers. They're starting to feel it. They're moving the basketball, they're cutting well, and they're getting shots to go down.
You appreciate the effort from Emma Von Essen, but at 5 feet 9 inches tall, giving up a lot of size in there on Derringer, and as a result, you kind of see what happens. Derringer, the transfer from Elon, first season with the Tigers, in the best shape of her career, according to Laura Harper, has run her way into a position to be able to play at the tempo that Towson wants to. That was the concern coming into the year. A real credit to her for how much work she put in.
Well, she looked pretty good on that one. I mean, she's cutting really well without the basketball. And, it's always interesting when players transfer within conference because, you're coming into a new team, but you know all the other teams just as well. So there is some comfort with that.
So Derringer, who only averages 4 points per game, has been active offensively. She's got 7. And it's the role players making things happen. They missed a sub at the table as Turner was waiting to check in. That was that buzzer, but we play on. The officials say we'll get her in a sec. Nifty move from Garrett, but got cut off. Carter going downhill. The floater gets the contact and will go to the stripe.
Okay, Garrett, when she gets down there and she gets her back to the basket, you don't know which shoulder she's going to go over top. Didn't have anything there, gets it to her teammate, and now gets some free throws.
Turner does finally return. Carter, a kid who really struggled offensively early in her career. Shot just 20% from the field as a true freshman. Worked on her shot hard coming into last year, was expected to have such a nice synergy with Chloe Sterling, but then Sterling got hurt, and it kind of turned into the Michaela Carter show. Now she has rebuilt that synergy with Sterling, and Hofstra staff really loves that combination.
Yeah, it's like you have all these great plans until a wrench gets thrown into it, and then you have to adapt. I mean, that's pretty much what it's become. You just adapt, move on, and pick up the pieces.
So much went right for Hofstra early, but not much going their way now. Important final 90 seconds of the half, and that won't hurt. A turnover gives it back to the Pride.
What defense by Garrett. She was denying Johnston the basketball. She was trailing her. She had her hand in the passing lane. She was not allowing Johnston to even get a touch.
Garrett directing traffic, demanding Magoligo to come out to the perimeter. 13 on the timer, just now really getting into the flow. Sterling trying to free herself, goes to the fadeaway, and the offensive board for Magoligo, but she turns it over. Marchbanks on the run. And somehow that was ripped free by Shepard, and Johnston ends up with it.
Got to reset if you're Towson.
Really good decision there by the Tigers. This is where Johnston, most dangerous, splits the double. The runner goes.
Well, she is having to work for every shot she gets. She splits the double, keeps that dribble, and then she hits the floater.
I mean, that's like we're watching an instructional video there from India Johnston. So pure.
High level of difficulty, too. I mean, with the shot clock running down, just get through the double, handling the basketball, and I still don't think she's hit the rim on anything here.
Sterling with the shot clock off, takes it a little early, and Towson now will get one last look. 3 seconds to go. Turner on the run, finds a wide open Shepard, who misses the 3. I think the Towson fans would have tried to take the lid off this place, but a strong close to the opening half for the 7 seed. It was all Hofstra early, but it was
without the basketball.
And we have one more game to go. The finale of our 4 today will be 6th-seeded Elon against 11th-seeded Hampton on the action right here on Flow Sports. Second half underway. Towson beginning with the basketball. They have momentum as they've opened up a 5-point lead.
We saw in the first half that the defense is really what propelled Hofstra getting some of those extra opportunities, but the inability to convert on the offensive end is what helped Towson get back into this game and then eventually take the lead.
Kind of a self-pass there from Shepard, so Laura Harper's team turns it over to start the second half.
I also thought that when Hofstra put Mogaliko at the top of the defense, that really bothered the Towson guards. There you saw she was down low.
They leave Gooden wide open, and she makes them pay.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with Gooden and her ability to read the defense. If you're going to give her that step, she's going to step into the shot.
Valerie Gooden knocking down another, but the answer right back from Marchbanks.
Marchbanks just has a really nice flow in this game. She's stepping into shots with confidence.
Sterling got cut off, kicks it out to Carter, and the shot's falling to start the third quarter.
The first quarter started with both teams getting some good looks and not being able to knock down shots, and now everything's going in the bucket. Boy, those halftime adjustments went quite well so far.
Yeah, it's good coaching. Make shots.
It's an easy game, isn't it, Matt?
Shepard works her way to the foul line, pull-up jumper, in and out. Boy, how'd that not fall?
Yeah, it looked good.
It's easy for you. It's so easy for me. Carter cut off. Good recovery along the baseline from Marchbanks. Sterling looking to create off the bounce. Elevates and short with it. And the rebound to Derriche starts the break. 2-on-1 for Towson. And the banker goes. Excellent work from Samaya Turner.
Every time Turner shoots the ball, she's got someone hanging all over her. The level of difficulty of her shots and her ability to convert has been commendable.
Carter open again. Same result, Michaela Carter.
Yeah, closeout not there quick enough, and now she's feeling it.
3 threes already in 2 minutes. Meanwhile, the other way off the mark, Derriche cleans it up. She has been everywhere. 9 points for the Big.
This is a pretty fast pace for both teams.
Gooden hit the first jumper to set the tone for Hofstra. Now she goes inside, misses the fadeaway, and Derriche a flat-footed rebound.
Yeah, there's another one of those great opportunities where you're getting in close. Gooden gets in there, but can't quite get it up over the rim.
Hustle play from Sterling to stop that break as she knocked it to the sideline.
I mean, just to talk about the offense right now, that second quarter, Hofstra only scored 12 points. They already have 9 here in the third quarter in 2.5 minutes.
Yen Onwee comes in for Hofstra. Meanwhile, it was 1:25 in the first half before we saw India Johnson, and it is 2.5 minutes in the third quarter as Johnston comes on the safety blanket for head coach Laura Harper. Reverse try, Turner came open, got undercut, finishing in the foul.
I think what was even more impressive than the finish was when she went up for the shot, she almost kind of side-eyed and saw the defender on the ground, so she had to adjust her landing. Watch what she does here. She sees, and then look, she knows she's there, and she adjusts her landing while she's falling down, because if you ever land and your foot goes on top of a player, that's a way to hurt your angle, and again, the emotion. She has been, the ignition here for the Tigers.
And it's exactly what her head coach said. The gritty anchor in the paint. So tough, physical inside, and in so many ways, Towson's enforcer. Hofstra has good at enforcing a response to bring the Pride back within 3.
That was an identical shot of the last one she shot, but there she was able to adjust. There's that defense again. Quick hands. The on-the-ball defense for Hofstra has really been impressive here tonight.
And Emma Kareem, who's been quiet most of the way, good in missing the short corner jumper, and then a foul battling for the rebound. They caught it against Magalik, or no, they caught it against Onwee, I beg your pardon. Well, basketball's not easy, either is English, evidently for me, as Onwee picking up 2 very unfortunate fouls there. She didn't mean for contact either time. She was trying to get out of the way on the leg whip, and then that time she was trying to turn and run back and collided with a Tiger. Short with the 3. Kareem see if her impact can be felt second half. Meanwhile, Sterling lost it on the way, somehow got it to a teammate, and Michaela Hodge will head to the line.
What a recovery, though, by Sterling. She was changing speeds, and I thought she was trying to explode to the rim, but kind of lost the handle of the basketball. Look, she's serving, changes her speed, about to go up, and then kind of loses it. But look she saves it, sticks with the play, gets it to her teammate.
Michaela Hodge out there, the funniest kid on the team for this Hofstra group. Danielle Santos-Atkinson said, if we hit a little adversity or we hit a little quiet moment, it's always Michaela that can cut the room up when necessary. Still a young player, only a sophomore. Played 14 games this year, but she's got a big-time basketball pedigree. Her dad, Julius, was ACC Player of the Year at NC State, and she just keeps getting better and better. Brings Hofstra within 3.5 minutes into this third quarter.
Yeah, I really think those free throws, it's going to be really important for Hofstra to convert when they get to the line.
Schukfist has Carter in front of her, so gives it to Turner. Again, two bodies come at Johnson. They give her a little ground, and the foul as Johnson using the whole bag of tricks just to try to free herself a little.
Yeah, she has not, I think she's only had one open look, and then the one time she was wide open clapping for the ball, she didn't even get the basketball. She's had to work really, really hard, and if Towson has more games to play, I mean, she has to expect that because she's just had such a great year, especially on the offensive end.
And that's going to be the interesting thing for Towson. They are deep, but they play at such a high tempo. If they want to make a long run, they're going to have to win 4 games in 4 days. How do they find a way to avoid fatigue? Johnston, another step back, and that one's short. Derige battling, but Kareem chasing down the rebound.
Yeah, that was hard. She had the length of Hodge right in her face.
Oh, what a move from Sterling, but she can't get the roll. Gooden kept it alive for the Pride.
Those hustle plays, I really think that's been the key for Hofstra, is just their hustle and stick-to-itiveness.
Garrett powering up. Can't use the window. Weak side rebound to Turner.
Garrett creating a little bit of that contact, maybe even a little bit of a push-off, and then just had a little too much going off the glass.
Another shake and bake move. Johnston couldn't finish. Derige cleaning it up again.
There she is once again. Her ability to be in the right place at the right time in the paint when the shot goes up, and then keeping the ball high.
March creates heroes from unlikely sources, and now a foul against the Pride. Gooden on a legal screen inside will give it back to Towson. And that's number 3 against Gooden, so a big one.
That's a very big one. She's been really good here in the first half of the third quarter, sparked and getting to the rim. Someone's going to have to pick up the pieces here because she's been pretty aggressive offensively.
Just about halfway through this third quarter, little half-court trap tried from Hofstra, but the spacing too good from Towson. Derige was trying to post up, but could not get to that one, and the unforced error gives it back to the Pride. The offense is getting it done on both ends. The offensive boards this time, Derige has Towson up by 3. Laura Harper's team holding a 3-point lead, 4:54 to go in the third quarter. 10 new players on this Towson team coming into the year. They've used all kinds of different starting lineups and rotations. Hannah Derringer has 11 points, a surprise for Towson, but maybe it shouldn't be because the Tigers, their depth really has been what's carried them all season long.
It really is, and when you look at points in the paint, Towson is plus 16, and a lot of those are from Derringer. I mean, just her ability to get in position, keep the ball high, not allowing the guards to dig in there. And you know, we talk about college basketball now and new teams being built every single year with the transfer portal, and then you look at a player like India Johnston, what a career she's had, and this is her 4th year in the program. It's rare now.
So that loyalty and how she has grown as a player. Sterling short with a jumper, Towson able to clean up the rebound.
We'll see how long Hofstra can deal with Gooden on the bench.
Short with a transition 3 there from Shepard. And there's Von Essen, one of the smallest players on the floor, pulling down the rebound. Sterling hesitates, stops on a dime, somehow avoided the travel and scooped it home.
Similar to what she did before, but she came more to a stop that time, so you could clearly see the pivot and then holding the pivot foot down and then the start step. But it was the spin of the ball. She went around and it was the spin that made that one go down.
Clearly, Hofstra says avoid Derringer touches. They are fronting the post. It leads to the steal. Well, Von Essen was left open. Instead, it's Sterling hitting the 3, and Hofstra back ahead.
How good does it have to feel for Sterling? Really struggled in the 2 games against Towson this season. Only had 6 total points and really being an offensive lift here today. And I also thought it was good patience by Garrett. She was going to let it fly, but Sterling calling for the basketball.
This has been a fun one. Another 3, this time short from Shepard. And the rebound goes to Magaliko.
Well, we mentioned how these teams know each other very well. I mean, the history of Hofstra and Towson go way back.
All about the CAA is Derringer able to board the miss from Sterling. Another quick pop there from Towson. Perimeter jumpers have come early in possessions for the Tigers.
Yeah, especially when Hofstra's on a little bit of a run here. You want to use that shot clock, move the basketball, get some touches, play that inside-out game if you're going to let that one fly.
Matulavicius missing that time for the Tigers. Oh, a push off. Von Essen was getting frustrated and picks up the offensive foul. Let's go back to the Sterling 3 a minute ago.
Yeah, here you see when the ball gets pushed up. Look, she wanted to take it, and then Sterling said, nope, defense runs away, and she said, well, if you're going to leave me that wide open, I'm going to knock it down.
Try to pull Derringer away from the basket where she's done so much damage, but that is the mismatch, and Sterling making a pay. Kareem returns for Hofstra. Meanwhile, Shukma's back in for Towson. Johnston's been quiet in this second half. What do you think the Pride have done to slow her down?
Well, they're just denying her the basketball, and anytime she does have it, they're trailing her off the ball, and then they're guarding her on the ball, and there she gets that second opportunity, but still can't get it to go down.
You won't see her miss many like that 2 times in a row, and then the flat-footed rejection from Magaliko starts to break the other way. Kareem finding the trailing Garrett, who got it blocked by Derringer. And Derringer got another piece.
2 blocks in a row, staying with the basketball.
The defense inside has been impressive, and Derringer has 13. Do it on both ends.
Great recognition by Turner. There was no rotation over. She slipped from the high post down into the low post, and a great pass.
Neither team can escape the other.
Really has been a game of runs.
Garrett picking up her bounce. Carter comes to help her out. 8 to shoot, working on Johnston. And connects.
Yeah, I think that's been a huge theme for Hofstra. I think in the first quarter they were getting in there kind of rushing the shots. Now they're being a little bit more patient. Maybe wait and see. Okay, the defense came up. I'm going to wait a second. Now I'm going to go up with the shot.
Backdoor Turner could not hold on. It was going to be a layup. Instead, it's a giveaway.
Derge trying to reciprocate before it was Turner to Derge, and then Derge was trying to get that pass, almost a high-low look, and just it was a little too hot to handle.
So Derge will get a well-earned breather. Kayla Morris returns. They do have depth in terms of size. Brown posting up on Johnston. Can't use the window, and Morris just snatching the rebound.
I like the way she faced up to the basket, though.
Hofstra, good job in transition. Towson wants to run, but the Tigers have been unable to beat them down the floor.
We talked about both of the games in the regular season came down to one possession. It's exactly the same this time around.
Shootfist off the bounce, short with the three. It comes back to her like it was a magnet. Shootfist, who carried Presbyterian to an NCAA tournament a couple years ago, gives to Johnston, who's trying to carry Towson, but misses another. 3-second differential. Carter wide open, missing the three. Offensive board to Kareem.
Plenty of time here.
Right in front of your bench helps out. 3-second differential here. Three to get it off. Brown misses. Carter can't get it. Shootfist will run out the third quarter. What a game this has been. 10-seeded Hofstra leading 7-seeded Towson by 2 after 3 quarters, thanks to plays like this from McCurche. As we mentioned, the transfer from Elon, a kid that Laura Harper said loves to be coached on. She wants to get better, and Laura Harper has been making those little tweaks all season long, and they certainly are paying off here on a big stage. But it is Hofstra up 2, drawing a foul as we start the fourth quarter. Is every time it looks like Towson's going to take control of the game, Hofstra says not so fast.
And again, it's getting to the rim, and I think recognizing what the defense is doing and then being assertive, and Hofstra struggled initially in this game to get the ball in the basket. They just had their best quarter, 20 points in that third quarter. It was flying.
Off the bounce, it's Sterling, can't bank it home, and the rebound goes to Towson.
And also the commitment for Hofstra on the defensive end. You see how they all sprint? They turn and sprint to get back on defense to not allow those transition points. You know that's a point of emphasis in this game.
Johnston curling off the screen, staggering, got fouled, just finds a way as Hodge getting the contact, and Johnston to the stripe for a pair.
What I was most impressed on with that move is she was getting knocked to the ground, was able to keep herself upright. She got such a knock and tried to handle the basketball. Looked like she was going to fall over, but had enough balance to continue with 2 more steps and get the ball up and draw the foul.
Third in the conference in scoring, top 10 in field goal percentage, 3-point field goal percentage, and free throw percentage. She's 80% from the stripe, and as Laura Harper said this week, she's pretty much unguardable.
Well, and she has such a high screen. Watch out for the on-ball screen, maybe the more traditional pick and roll though, setting it up and trying to overload the one side and then opening it up for the pick and roll. But I think we're going to see an on-ball screen somewhere in this set.
There was a little confusion there of whether they had started the clock or not, so they're over at the monitor just to double check.
Well, every second matters in one like this. I mean, this is like the biggest lead there's been in the whole quarter.
I'm Matt Janis with Christine Mata in a game that has seen 12 different ties, 5 lead changes. It is 7-seeded Towson looking to thwart the upset attempt of the Pride, up by 4 with 68 seconds left on the clock as the officials do confirm that that time is right.
Well, every time these teams play, they score a little bit more. In the first game, it was 47-46. In the second game, it was 58-55. And now we're into the 70s. All right, we're moving on up.
This is not what either coach was anticipating for this matchup. The deflection, they'll let Sterling go get that in the backcourt. Gooden off the switch, gets Morris. Sterling spinning through the double, getting the foul, and will go to the line.
That was a good job of just kind of surveying and then getting into the paint. I think if that pass to the corner was a little sharper, a little harder, I think she would have had an open look, but because it kind of was a lob pass coming out of the double, she didn't have enough time to catch and shoot.
You know the best part of this? We still have a whole nother game to go. The fourth of our quadruple header as Sterling bringing the Pride within 3. It'll be Hampton and Elon to get started about a half hour after we're through. 2-point game. Towson will take the timeout to advance the ball.
Both teams shooting very well from the free throw line, both over 75% for the game. So free throws have been an area that both teams have capitalized on.
If you're Hofstra and you look at the stats, hard to believe you're trailing. You have shot 54% from three-point range. You have turned the ball over just 8 times. You've forced 13 turnovers. You're +5 in points off of turnovers, but the difference, the area where Hofstra thought they might have an advantage coming in, rebounding, it's Towson +10 on the glass.
Yeah, and I think Towson really upped the game. I think Derige has a big part in that. I think she's done a great job rebounding the basketball, but I also think back to early in the game where Hofstra was getting bunny looks and 1 to 2 feet in the basket and was unable to convert. Oh, and then, this player called India Johnston happened in the fourth quarter. She literally put Towson on her back. Turner leading into halftime was the star, and then India Johnston just knocking down really difficult perimeter jump shots.
Johnston now with 21. Turner with 14, or 18, I beg your pardon. Derige with 14 and 9. But right now, if you're Towson, got to avoid those turnovers.
I mean, this may have been one of the best games for Hofstra of taking care of the basketball.
Obviously, don't have to foul here if you're the Pride. 18-second differential and only a 2-point game.
And that's where everybody has to be on the same page. You have to know what you're doing exactly on this possession.
Hofstra does have a foul to give. Towson spreading the floor, forcing the Pride to chase them as they bleed the clock. Johnston comes to get it with 10 on the timer. Gives it up. Marchbanks on Gooden, leaving it inside. Morris couldn't finish. And a timeout, but did she dribble?
I think she did. I thought she dribbled, and here comes the one official, and I think that's the right call. She's pointing to the baseline and saying it's out there, and that's one of those little mental mistakes. And as soon as she did it, she put her hands on her face. She knew that she needed to hold on to that basketball. Those are the things you talk about in the huddle. And watch what happens. Great block, too. Great straight-up block. She gets it, but her instinct is to dribble, and right away she knows. They talked about it, and you can see she looked right to the bench. She knew what she was supposed to do, but her instinct of putting the ball on the ground now cost Hofstra the length of the floor.
Sophomore from Portugal. One of the quietest, shyest kids on the team, but has found her voice this year. Unfortunately for Hofstra, didn't find her voice to call the timeout a step sooner, but not the end of the world. Plenty of time. It's not like we're in the closing seconds. 19 and a tenth on the clock. Under your own basket. The key here, it feels like you can't take 10 seconds to get into whatever you're trying to run.
Yeah, first you're trying to get the ball in bounds because this can be difficult. If I'm Towson, I'm not necessarily denying the basketball. I mean, you may want to be that aggressive, but I think you're just making it difficult to get up the floor fast because you also don't want to foul because you have 14 fouls. You foul, you're essentially putting Hofstra on the line.
Prider out of timeouts. Towson has one remaining. If it comes to it, possession arrow belongs to Hofstra. Von Essen, who got off to the scorching hot start, she has 11. Sterling leads the way with 17. Gooden has 12.
And you see Towson picking up full court, but they can't be too aggressive because you do not want to foul.
Brown with 13 seconds left finds Sterling. 8 seconds to go. Von Essen. Step back. Hofstra leads.
Are you kidding me? Emma Von Essen, how many times have we seen in the CAA tournament Emma Von Essen hitting big shot after big shot? She was hot early, didn't get a lot of touches late, but the biggest shot maybe of her career, executed perfectly. Oh my goodness, to perfection. Step back, creating space, and taking the lead. My goodness, what a shot.
So still 2.3 seconds left as Von Essen, a potential dagger. Towson has to gather itself quickly and draw up a look to save their season.
You know, you look up and you say, okay, 2.6 seconds, that's not a lot of time. But you have the basketball on your own sideline. They review these kinds of plays all the time at the end of practice. Oh.
The family emotional. Von Essen, a local kid, grew up right down the road, getting hugs from her teammates. The Rockville Town Center, New York native. But right now needs her defense to get one more stop. 2.6 seconds is what they end up with on the clock. And a foul before the inbound. Remember, Hofstra had one to give, so there it is.
Now you got to make sure you do not foul. I mean, I don't think you wanted to foul with no time on the clock, but either way, now it's just...
Here it is, 2.6 seconds to go. They get it in, shot at the buzzer, no! And Hofstra beats Towson and will march on to play Campbell.
They've done it again. The Hofstra Magic in the CAA tournament. They just find ways to string wins together. There's something about Hofstra in the CAA tournament. What a game. Another one-possession game between Hofstra and Towson.